Okay, let's start thinking about compound shapes, and I have to tell you, this is one of my absolute favourite things to do in maths because they're just like puzzles to solve. So if I want to work out the area of this shape, I'm going to need all of the measurements. You can see there, a bit more closely, all of the measurements of this shape. And instead of trying to do multiplication with those sort of right from the off, it's too difficult, there's too many numbers, too confusing. So what I do is I take this shape and I think about it as being made up of rectangles. So let's start thinking about the rectangles it's made up of. There's one here. Let's have that. And there's one here. Let's have that. Now, I've not changed the area at all. I've not added or taken away any paper, but I've now got just rectangles and I know how to work out the area of those. So this one, I've got 3 metres and 3 metres. So the length times the height is 9 metres squared. For this one, now there's a lot of numbers on this and I start having to think quite hard. I already know the top is 4 metres. I'm going to ignore this 7 because that was the whole length and I've chopped that off now. So this is 4 metres, but I don't actually have a whole length for this side. But I don't need to worry about that because this piece was on here and I can do the 2 metres plus this 2 metres plus that 2 metres, and that is going to give me 6 metres for that side. So see how I've worked that out? Even though I didn't have this measurement, I had enough information to work it out because that's the same. 2 plus 2 plus 2. I could do that exactly the same using this bit, which came from here. I've got 3 metres here and 3 metres there. That means the whole length is going to be 6 metres long. So I won't worry about that. I've worked it out with the information. So it's 6 times 4, which is, oh, this is getting rusty, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. 24 metres squared for this bit. This last little bit is 1 metre by 2 metres. Times those together, and the whole area of that is 2 metres squared. So, if I think about putting my whole shape back to how it was, the area of the whole thing is going to be this bit, 9 metres, plus this bit, 24 metres, so that brings us up to 33 metres, plus this bit, which is 2 metres there. So the area of the whole thing is 35 metres squared. I can work that out with a little bit of logical thinking. Yeah? Think about chopping it up into rectangles and working out the area of those rectangles. Okay, brains in gear. Let's have a look at another one. This one is a little bit trickier than the last one for a couple of reasons. The first reason is it's got a bit missing, so I'll have to work out how to tackle that. And the second reason is it's only got a few measurements around the edge. If I was looking at one like this, the first thing I would do is try and work out as many measurements as I could from it. So I don't have a measurement for all the way along the top, which is a bit of a problem. I might need that measurement. But I can work it out by adding together this distance and that distance. Does that make sense? I can find out this distance by adding together this distance and this distance. That's 6 and that's 4. So along the top I've got 10 metres. I also don't have a measurement for this distance. But I do know that I've got 9 metres here and 2 metres here. And if that's 9 and that's 2, then this bit must be 7, because it's clearly just the same as this minus that distance, which we know is 2. Now, I'm not saying we'll absolutely definitely 100% need those measurements, but I do think it's very useful at the beginning to try and work out as many measurements as you can. So once I've got all of those measurements, there's a couple of different ways I could come at this. The first way I'm going to show you is to think about this as a whole rectangle with some bits missing. So imagine it was a whole rectangle with some bits missing. What I would do is I would work out the area of the whole rectangle and work out the area of these missing bits and take them away. That makes sense? So, to get the area of the whole rectangle, I do my 9 times my 10. That's 90 metres squared. Now I'm going to take away the area that would be in here, which is 5 times 5. So this area here is 25 metres squared. So I do my 90 minus my 25, that brings me to 65. Then I think about the area of this bit here, 4 metres by 2 metres, so this bit is 8 metres squared, and I do 65 minus 8, which brings me to 57 metres squared. So by treating this as one big rectangle and taking some bits away, I get 57 metres squared. But that isn't the only way I could tackle this. Let's get rid of that. And instead of treating it as one big rectangle with bits missing, let's treat it more like we did the other one, of two different rectangles whose area we can work out. So we've got this bit, 7 metres by 4 metres. This bit is 28 metres squared. And we've also got this bit, remembering to ignore the 10 because that was the whole length. So it's 6 metres by 9 metres, which is 54 metres squared. But we need to remember not to include this area here, so we need to remember to take away that 25 metres squared. I'm sure you can all do that in your head. I need a method. 4 take away 5 can't do, so we have to borrow. 14 take away 5, 9. 4 take away 2, 29 metres squared. So I've got this bit is 29 metres squared, this bit is 28 metres squared. I add those together. 8 plus 9 is 17. 2 plus 2 plus 1 is 5. So by working out this area plus that area, I get 57 metres squared, which you'll notice is exactly the same as when I did it the other way. The reason I wanted to show you that is everyone has slightly different ways of coming at these compound shape problems. So if you're thinking one thing and your friend's thinking another, or if you're thinking one thing and your parent's thinking another, don't panic, that's fine. Try both, see if you get the same answer. It's a really good way of checking your work. Just another little thing to explain while I've got you here. On your worksheet, if it looks like this, and it's got like a window in it that's shaded in, that means it's like this. That means don't work out, well, it means take away the area of that shaded window. That's all that's trying to tell you. Other thing to say is I've been showing you this by actually cutting and moving apart my rectangles because it's nice and easy to see on the video. When you're doing it, you might just want to like draw lines, but like this bit plus this bit. You don't actually have to take a pair of scissors to it. Of course, it's up to you. Important to remember though, if you're not printing it out, you can draw your own diagrams. If you do need to cut them up, that's fine. If you have any questions, you're having any difficulties, or you need more of a challenge, let me know and I will see what I can do. Speak soon. Bye bye.